One.
Oh,
we did it.
We did it.
Bye.
Hey.
You're live. Another Wednesday with Just Engage University podcast. If you've been watching the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about our Marriage or Money series. We are super excited to finally bring in one of our partners. But before we go there, I'm Giovanna Burgess-White. I'm the owner of Mia Bella Houston. To my right.
Yeah.
That's my left.
Oh, we don't have to do the whole thing this time. I'm Yvette Valdenegro, and I own Pop-Up Wedding Houston. And we want to thank everybody who's migrated over with us, who went from the Uncut and Unleashed, and now you are here with us on Just Engage University. We are so sorry that it's been so confusing with everybody going back and forth. But thank you for following us and being with us here today, because today is pretty exciting. As you can see, there's already somebody there that we're not bringing from the green room that we're going to introduce, but you want to kind of do a recap of where we are?
Yes, let's recap. So last 3 weeks, we have been talking about the Marriage or Money series, Why Not Both? Everybody talks about, oh, well, I can't afford to get married, and I can't afford to have my honeymoon, and I can't afford to move into my first house. I can't have the dream life. Says who? So we're here to tell you, just like we've been telling you the past 3 weeks, that you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have your dream wedding. You can have your dream honeymoon. You can start investing in your life. You can start finding your home. And since we are not financial advisors, we are engagement coaches, we have partnered up because we love collaborations with the partners at Wizingo. And so today you finally get to meet the man behind the brand. And he
the
is
whiz
going,
behind Wizingo.
Yeah, the whiz behind Wizingo. He's going to really take you into depth. We've talked about statistics, and we can kind of recap those. Divorce rate's been high. Divorce rate during COVID was high. Sex, communication, financial stability. The top 3 reasons that couples are getting divorced. We also talked about statistics that most couples that are getting married are paying for their own weddings. They don't have savings. They're going into their first year of marriage being in debt. And really the struggles of the first 5 years of marriage is where we're seeing couples. It's like a 50% divorce rate within the first 5 years. And it's because of finances, sex, and communication. So we finally found our partner in crime. They are financial advisors. They are also coming on board with us to talk about the first 5 years and how important it is to invest in your relationship. It's very important to protect your family and to really just grow and do what you want to do. I am 39 years old, and I was always told that, oh, by the time you retire, then you're going to have this amazing life, and you'll be able to invest, and you'll be able to live the life of your dreams. And I'm going, I'm going to be 65 and tired, so I don't want to wait that long. So today we're going to have Jaden talk about really what Wizingo and the rule of 35 is and how we're just kind of incorporating our pieces. This is part 3 of a 6-part series, so we can't give you too much, but at the end of this show, we're going to talk about an amazing giveaway, and we're going to just kind of talk about what we're going to be doing in the next 3 weeks leading up to Bridal Extravaganza, where we'll all be on stage. Because I know what you're thinking. The last 3 weeks, you're like, I want more, I want more, I want more. Well, you're going to actually see us live. We're all 3 going to be together July 31st and August 1st at the George R. Brown Convention Center. We are sponsoring and headlining the show, and so you will be able to meet us in person and really just dive deep into what you want to do with your future and investing in your relationship. So, woo! So much, right?
Good God, breathe.
These ladies are legends.
Commercial right now.
Is this live?
This is live.
On what?
We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook, and then after we're done here, we'll go into IGTV. So we're live on all platforms, Just Engage University, because our couples want to see it.
Yeah, and they want it in live and depth, and do not hold back. Be real. Give it to them, because everyone who watches this, that is one of the things.
Well, I'll tell you what's real is that camera angle is way better than that camera angle. Man, I look super skinny on that one and not as skinny on this one. So next time, let's be live on this.
Okay,
we'll go up higher.
Okay, and we're finished and done.
Hey, but real talk, I'm very grateful that you guys allow us to come in and work with y'all. These ladies, I don't know if you know who they are, but if you don't, you should know who they are, because you guys, I'm very impressed. When I introduce them, every time I say that they're legends. I really believe that. The impact that they are working to make and are going to make in the lives of people, not just who are getting married, but everybody can benefit. I'm just gonna keep talking to this, and I look so good in this camera right here. She has cameras everywhere up here. She just snorted. She did the laugh snort. I love it. Hey, life is about real. Let me tell you, kind of who I am. Can I introduce myself?
Yes, please do.
My name is Jaden Slentz. I'm an entrepreneur who has built, a pretty good company or brand of companies over the course of my life. I've started from nothing. I've failed many, many times. And being in the position that we're in owning a mortgage company and real estate company and in the financial services space, let me first preference this, that what we're going to talk about today is for educational purposes only, okay?
Yes.
We're going to talk about what's possible and what you should be thinking about especially when you're getting married. I'm not a financial advisor. I do own financial services companies, and we do know some things that we have learned based on experience. And let me tell you something. Anytime y'all collaborate with somebody like we're doing for a financial course or for anything, it's very important that you learn from people that are not teaching only what they have learned and studied, okay, but that they have also learned and studied, but also been through it and lived the journey. You're going to get, when I was younger, I got introduced to people skills and personal development through my grandfather, that he has taught a course and started in 1980, and that's a big foundation of the principles we run our company off of, and we still incorporate his teachings in our course. And so I would study these success books. I knew people skills. I knew kind of what I've been learning from Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie, and I could go on, John Maxwell, okay? And I was teaching. And the difference now where we're at today is I'm not just teaching of what I've read, I'm teaching what I've not only read, but I've went through, okay? So what you're going to learn in the course that we're working on and hopefully in this is just real world things of trial and error and failure. And being a owning a mortgage company, I've looked at countless financial profiles. If you bought a house recently, when was the last time you got a mortgage?
2 years ago.
4 years ago.
Do you remember how much documentation
Oh
you had
my
to
God.
provide, application, blood
It
type,
was horrible.
firstborn child? Okay, you have to give a lot. And so we see a lot. And we see that a lot of people have trouble understanding how to manage their money, their debt that they have, the income that's coming in, how to invest, how to have enough money to invest, how to have good credit scores, how to have liquidity, meaning cash in the bank. And as we started to write and build this financial formula that we call the Rule of 35, it doesn't exist with any other company. You cannot go get what you can learn at any other mortgage company, at any other real estate company, at any other entrepreneurs like these ladies. Now you're going to get access through it, but it's very unique, and it's going to teach you that everything starts with DTI, okay, your debt to income problems. And you'll see a correlation. When somebody has a high DTI, what is DTI? Let's challenge these ladies because they're very successful, okay? And you're going to see why this education is very important.
In simple terms, what you're spending, what you're making, does it make sense?
Now, what does DTI stand for, though?
Debt to ratio.
Debt
Or
to income ratio.
Dang.
I got you. That's an income ratio.
Okay.
We're going to teach it in simple terms. What you make, what you spend, does it make sense?
There's a book by Rick Rigsby. He was the chaplain at A&M University's football team, and he wrote a book, Lessons from a Third Grade Dropout. Lessons that he's learned from his mom or his dad. Thank you, Michael. Michael's a genius video guy. He's going to be super successful.
By the way, Michael's someone behind the scenes who's taking pictures and set all this up for us in case, because there's a connection.
But see how humble she is? She should turn the camera around and y'all should see the massive production that's behind this going down right now. Only thing that we need is there's 0 live users or viewers. We need thousands to listen to what we are about to teach. We want to keep it simple. Okay, and I want to keep talking to this camera because I look great on this camera.
This is his first time live, and I just like to share with the viewers because people come in at different times of the day, so you'll go back in a few weeks and you'll be like, oh my God, how many viewers do we have?
Yeah.
So that increases a lot.
I know, I'm being facetious.
We answer all the questions in the replay because we know you're probably working and you want to see us when you get home. This is like the after hour crew. You grab your champagne, you grab your Prosecco, and then you come on and watch us.
See, it's
Hey, so let's test that then. Write a comment of where you're tuning in from. We want to know. And then I'll also want to ask, Giovanna said 50% divorce rate is based on sex issues, money issues, or communication issues. What do you think is more important, in your opinion? There's no wrong answer to have or the biggest issue that you don't want to have problems with, or what's the right way to phrase that? What's most important to you out of these three in a marriage, okay? Great sex, right? I'm talking fantastic sex, okay? Is that most important? Money, like being sound financially, or communication, right? There's a book, y'all have to have read it, and I'm gonna ask y'all who wrote it, called The 5
Love
Love
Languages. Oh, that's part of our membership.
It's part of our course.
It's part of our course. We teach the 5 love languages. See, this is why we're connected.
Okay, so there, if you haven't read it, read it. I won't get into that. So let's pretend this is the 3 love languages, right? What's most important to you? Great sex, right? Great communication, right? Listen or be able to talk. That's really important to a lot of people.
It is.
Or money. If you had to pick 3, I'd pick 1. Okay, which one would you have picked? And do you believe many people struggle? Where do you think they struggle with more? Sex, communication, money, and what's most important to you? Please chime in. We want to know what people value, what people are dealing with as you try to produce a course that helps them.
We're real. This is based off of not what we've learned, like not what we've read. We've had clients, we've had couples, we've lived the life that we are presenting to you. It's real. Like this is what people don't want to talk about, which is, I hate that. I hate that money is such an issue to talk about, not just in your personal life, but even in business.
Okay, do you want to bring these up? Because we can answer these, or do you want to wait till those come in and then you can do the
I don't matter. I mean, I teach a great class on how to have a great sex life that's more important than probably better than my money course, but this topic is about money, and we're going to talk to you about the real importance. And we like to have fun and joke, guys, but let me tell you, it is a life and death situation if you don't understand income, debt, how to create it, how to manage it, how to have wealth. I mean, it's like you're living a life debt. You're just stressed, you're frustrated, and it's a very, very serious topic. And I'd like to get serious on it, and I want y'all to kind of guide, what do y'all want to talk about? What do y'all want to cover, so we kind of, give the viewers what they're here for.
Well, 100%. We are always involved in the engagement journey. So most couples think that their life starts when they get married. What they don't realize is their life starts the minute they form a relationship, the minute they decide to get married. As a venue owner, I see my couples 12 to 16 months out because my clients pay for their own wedding. So I'm seeing them in that first year of marriage. We also see that they are paying for their weddings themselves. So most of my clients, I would say 80 to 85% of my couples are paying for their own wedding. So
85%?
Yes, that is my clientele. And
answer that question real quick. Do you think would you rather see more value in paying your own wedding or having somebody, AKA family or something, pay for your wedding? What's your preference if you could choose between the two?
Yes. And we're living in a different time where those traditions and our parents don't have the money to give their children. So the other thing, since I'm the venue, I see the client so far in advance. Yvette is normally the 3rd or 4th purchase because she's the planner. She's the one, another episode is when you don't hire a planner, you end up not saving money. Yeah, you're losing money. So she sees her clients sometimes 8 to 12 months out. So we are building these relationships and writing the book of marriage with our clients. And we see the financial stress. That was the number one thing that we saw. Not knowing how much they're making, not knowing how much debt they have, not knowing their credit scores, not even knowing how much savings they have.
Individually or for the
opposite.
Right.
For the opposite.
How they spend the money, what they spend money on, their entire scope of how they feel internally about money. Because some people put a negative, aspect to money. Some people think the money, oh my God, I love the thought of talking about money. But yeah.
I want data points on that, and I want to spend some money on some R&D and help us. Okay, here's another thing. Stay engaged with us. Answer this in the comments, whatever platform you're watching it on. Did you know before you got married your spouse's FICO score, their income? And I bet you everybody knows income. You know how much you make. I know how much my spouse makes, but I didn't know her credit score. I didn't know assets. Most people don't know if they have student loans. What's their debt, right?
How much do they spend personally a month, like personal spending habits? That's huge.
It's huge, right? And what is the difference in the course that we'll produce? We're going to explain what's the difference between debt ratios and living expenses. What's included in debt ratios, your DTI, when you go buy a house, and we'll show you how to do it with little to no fees, investing in real estate to protect your ROI, return on your investment. But then living expenses. You know, people are way out of whack, and we've been sold a bag of freaking goods, okay, on how to go, go to college, go to and get a job, invest in your 401k, and then 65 and retire. Hey, the new retirement age, guess what it is? Whoever gets it, okay, the new retirement age in this day and age, as you understand what's happening in the financial industry, 35 years old. Better get started early though. We gotta catch up, right? She snorted again. I love this story now. Hey, but let me stay on topic because it's a
money. Let's talk
Yeah.
about
that is money.
No, I know.
Do you know the average raise in the corporate space per year if you're an employee? What is it? Average.
I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know the corporate space.
Guess so.
I guess it's disgustingly
3%.
Ooh, less than
Okay.
10%.
Do you know when 401ks were invented?
In the 70s?
No.
That's a great guess.
Before.
74, I
Okay.
think. Okay. Fact check.
Don't quote us on
Fact
that.
check. No, fact check me. I'd like to know from. Right? She snorted again. That's like my mom. I love the snort laugh. I love it, right? I love it. Keep doing it.
I will.
You're getting me off topic.
Retirement.
No, okay, no. So
401k.
401ks were invented as a way to have a employee executive, a way for them to offset or add additional retirement for executives beyond the pension plan, okay? Companies started to figure out how much it saved their company's bottom line, P&L. You need to know what a P&L is in a family. You should review your family P&L once a month. Profit and loss statement.
Say profit and loss.
Profit and loss
Profit and
statement,
loss.
income, debts. It's super simple if you have the right tools. We want to give you the right tools. As companies saw that it was saving them a bunch of money, they moved away from company pension plans into 401ks, right? Now, the creator of the 401k, Google it, came out, I don't know when, not too recently, and said that 401ks was never intended to be used the way that is intended to be used today, okay? But why are the main percentage of Americans have most of their retirement tied up in their 401k? I could explain to you why a 401k is probably not the best long-term retirement vehicle. Now, there's not one thing right or wrong, okay? There's some things that are better than the other. So 401ks serve a great purpose, and I'm not saying that they're bad, don't get me wrong. I just say when you understand what's happening in the world and why banks updated their and I'm in the banking business, their policies in November to include bank failure. Why would they do that? What's happening, guys? When there's a lot of ways to create financial security when you understand, here's the basics, okay? Income. How to create income, how to have the right income. What's the average salary in America?
75,000,
No, way lower than that.
you think?
I would say lower than that. I'd say below 30,000.
You're high, little low. It's about 46,000, okay? It's very hard to create wealth. It's possible if you really manage your debt, okay? Like no debt, like nothing. You live outside, on the sidewalk, in a sleeper bag with a tent, for real. Because the cost of that's going to the extreme, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you understand, you're not being taught. This is the disconnect, ladies. This is the disconnect, viewers. We are not being taught in school about income and about money and about debt and how to make it and how to save it and how to manage it, right? How do I know that? When we were building our financial course, I like data points and I like to know what the customers know because I want to make sure that our theory is right. And I was going on to college campuses. I won't name the names. They're right around in Houston, the big ones. Guess them. And I would go to very smart kids, okay? And I would go up and say, I would pay them $20 to give me permission to utilize this video. So I'll give you $20 if you'll answer some financial questions and see how good you can answer these questions. And I'd answer questions of what is a credit score? How does it work? What is debt to income? What's the difference between 1099 and W-2? Which gives you more tax advantages? What's better? How do you pay less in taxes? And you would be blown away. Absolutely. Matter of fact, Michael, I think we still have some of those videos of some of the answers you're getting. And it was to prove a point that they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're extremely brilliant. but they're not being taught. We have not been taught about money and income and credit and how to have good credit and how not to mess it up. So here's what happens. Somebody graduates. Let me paint a picture. Let me tell a story. There's a young kid, smart guy, graduated valedictorian at high school, then went to college, graduated the top of his class. He was studying marketing, brilliant student guy. This is the guy that all the kids looked up to because he was so smart. And then he graduated college. He got a job, great job, making $65,000 a year. Then he got engaged, and then he started the marriage process, okay? And he wasn't taught about how to have a good credit score. He missed some payments on a phone bill that went to collection. He missed one payment on a credit card. Do you know how much one late payment, one 30-day late payment can lower your credit score on average?
100 points.
That's exactly right. Okay, so here's what happens. A young kid, smart as all get out, one of the smartest kids in the room, got out. He missed one payment because he wasn't taught one payment can lower your score 100 points. So he was at a 720, missed one payment, okay? His score dropped down to a 620. Now he was starting to get engaged. Now he learned through heartache. You can learn two ways. You can take our course and learn before you have to go through the heartache, or you can make mistakes and learn through going through the heartache. And that's a great way to learn because he won't miss another payment if he's smart, which I already told you he was smart. And this is a fake story, but it proves the point. I don't really know this guy, but this is what most people do. And so here's what we want to do. Okay, let me just share that if you don't mind.
Of course.
We want to show you how to, when you're going through, getting engaged and getting married, we want to show you how to spend a lot of money on a wedding, okay? How can you spend a lot of money on a wedding? You have a lot of money. You manage your money right. Why sacrifice on one of the most significant days of your life, okay? And when I teach young kids, or not young kids, or people getting married, I say, listen, are you ready for marriage? I ask them, are you ready? Because oh yeah, we've been living together for 2 years, we're already married. Okay, you're gonna see the changes. When you put the forever stamp, the seal on it, there's no, like when I'm dating a girl, I never lived with a girl, by the way, until I got married. But if you are, and you had a fight, I'm out. Peace, right? When you put the stamp of a marriage, it's forever, dude. Do you know the significance of forever? Things change. And, teaching you how to, really manage your money and celebrate that day. Spend some money on it, but don't recklessly go in blind. So first you want to know, like, let's say I've got a great wife and I couldn't find my wedding ring, but I got the tan for the band, so I've got a built-in wedding ring. I am married, been married 7 years. My wife and I got married right after a big business venture in 12 and 13 kind of failed, and I separated from a partnership. We started and we got married in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had negative when we got married, not like a positive net worth. Our net worth was negative, okay? And I love that, and I'm proud of that journey because in 7 years later, we're very, very positive, and you can do the same thing. And we like to help people develop a 5-year plan. If you have the right plan and you have the right team, you'll be blown away what you can accomplish in 5 years. So where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought, Phil, man.
I know, you're doing great. Well, I think you're painting the picture and helping people understand that the first 5 years are important. And people are going for that one day, spending the money on that one day, not knowing anything about finances.
That's right. That's where I was
And
headed.
then the next 5 years come and you're like,
that's where I was headed.
What happened?
I want to finish that point. Thank you, Giovanna. Hello. This is important, and that's why I want to know. I didn't know my wife's FICO credit score when we were getting married. I didn't know. I knew her income because she didn't work at the time. I didn't know her debts. I didn't know those things. I didn't know what she has in the bank. Now, let me think about this. If I'm planning to spend the rest of my life with you, if we were getting married, that's where I was headed with this. Me and Giovanna are getting married. Doesn't it make sense to sit down and say, okay, let's talk about this? Like, the past is the past. Matter of fact, if you've gone through adversity, problems, struggle, broken childhood, be thankful and grateful because you're gonna, as you get older, you'll get perspective of why those things are actually good for you. So don't be envious of someone who's being, a golden spoon or a silver spoon their whole life. Matter of fact, I think it's more valuable for you to pay for your own wedding and tell your parents to keep their money and go spend it on their vacation if you really want to get serious about being independent. But doesn't it make sense for us to sit down and say, okay, I don't care what you've gone through, okay? I don't care where, what I do care about is where we want to go, okay? Don't you want to, if we're going to plan a life and build a family, don't you want to go to like the promised land, to like where our dreams, okay? So now we need to figure out our starting point, okay? What is your income? You don't have to answer, right? What is my income? Okay, so together we're X, okay? What is your debt? What are you paying your car payment? What are you paying credit cards? How much is your credit card balances? Do you have student loans? Do I have student loans? What is our mortgage? What is our rent, right? Figure that out. And now we know what our DTI is, okay? That's great, we're gonna improve it. Now, hey, let me tell you this, fellas. Men, I got goosebumps. Women like to feel secure, okay? You make a woman feel secure, not just financially, but in how you make them feel and then how they feel beautiful and how they do feel financially secure. They will kill for the man, right? Mm-hmm. They want to feel secure, not a dick, right? Not jealous. I'm not jealous. My wife can do whatever she wants because I'm confident, right? I'm confident that she, and I'm a servant, I'm a giver, I'm a, you don't have to be a controller. Actually, that's terrible. And your wife will go find somebody else and then we'll connect you with a good divorce attorney. I'm kidding, that's a joke, okay?
He doesn't know that.
Hey, but, so when you have this meeting as a man, the woman, if your wife is initiating this meeting, you need to come talk to me. The man needs to be initiating this meeting, because here's what I would do. Okay, Giovanna, we're gonna get this down, okay? We're gonna work to create more income. I will control that. Matter of fact, I want you to be able to make money and do whatever you want with it. I'd like to try, if you're on board with this plan, to base our cost of living on my income. Why? Because then she doesn't feel trapped. She doesn't feel like she has to work. I hate it, and I don't always tell this because I'm very polite, and I really still like this camera angle. Use this as a video edit, dude, okay, if this is recording. I can't get off train of thought here.
Your
on
wife
this.
being able to be free to do whatever.
When guys tell me, I want my wife to work, so we have $100,000 in income, we go buy a $400,000 house. Here's what happens, okay? When you do that, she loses her freedom, okay? As men, we're called to be the leader of a home, and you don't want your wife to feel like she has to work. She can work if she wants to work, if she doesn't have to work. And the money that she does make, guess what? She can spend it on Louis Vuitton shoes if she wants, because our cost of living is on our income. And as a man, you got to learn how to drive your income up. Wazango can help you with that. Wazango can help you understanding where you're at with this and getting on the same page. Let's take it a step further, okay? Let's figure out the impact that it's going to change in taxes. Did you know that you pay less in taxes when you file as married versus single? Why is that?
Because your income comes together, right?
But why is that? It's more income. Did you pay more taxes?
No, I don't know. See, that's
Well,
why we have you.
the government sees that you're two individuals and say, well, they want to take your money more. I don't know.
So the top income bracket this year is 37%, okay? And there's different income thresholds that move you from bracket to bracket to bracket. When you file as a married couple, there's bigger income limits for each bracket. So you can, instead of being 22, maybe you're 12, right? And we'll show you that, how to pay less in taxes. What is your FICO score? We would sit down. What is your credit score? I don't even care. Being in mortgage, we've seen 380s, 480s, low 5s, right? What is the credit score? My credit score is this. Okay, we're gonna, or we may not even need to improve it if your parents, usually the young kids that are good financially, they've had good parents who've taught them the basics, because where else are they gonna learn it, right? They're in school ain't gonna teach them, or mostly it's not, or a mentor or something maybe could teach them. And then what do we have in liquidity? What do we have in liquid assets today? It's X, I've got X, okay, great, together we've got Y, okay? And then lastly, what do we have in investments? What does our financial balance sheet look like, okay? These are all basic things. And we're gonna teach all those in a little course that is made available to anybody at any age, but especially those who are getting married. And what will happen if we were getting married and I sat down, one of the first dates that I took my wife on, I believe in God, I believe in the Bible, okay, proudly. And I get away from that, you'll notice I'm different. I've always been a little wild in my life, and I convince people, because I'm a leader, okay, I want you to be a leader. I can either lead for the right areas, or I can lead you to do things that you've never done before.
Why do I lead that?
For real. But we want to lead people in the right way. And when I have this meeting with her, okay, and my point, and I finished that story, one of the second date, my wife, I took her to church and I prayed over us, right? She's never had a dude bold enough to say, hey, let me just pray for us, right? Love doing that. But when you do this with your wife or your spouse to be, or your wife to be, your current, girlfriend that you're about to get engaged and you're considering to get engaged, because you're going to invest a lot of money, wedding ring, venues, all this stuff, right? It's better to do this up front, because it costs a lot to undo it, and a lot of heartache and a lot of trauma, you don't want to have to undo it. So spend time putting it together before you tie it together so you don't have to undo it, right? After the man was bold enough to take his woman by the hand and sit down and do this exercise, you would feel good, right?
It's crazy because they're doing this with the wedding, with the one day of it. And they're sitting there and they're having problems just going, hey, the bar, it's gonna be like $6,000. Hey, we gotta cut the guest list. They spend all of this time during their engagement figuring out the one day that is maybe 8 hours. But yet they don't have a tool, they don't have an educator, they don't have resources to invest in their relationship.
Hey, let's take that
for the rest of their life.
Let's take that deeper. Check this. So I'm 35. Right, and think about that. And so my friends are at the age now that they've been married for a few years. The ones who regret spending $25,000 on their wedding are the ones who are still struggling financially. So it's not that they spent $25,000 on the wedding. Actually, I want you to spend $25,000 on the wedding, but I also want you to figure out money so you're not regretting spending $25,000 on the wedding 5 years down the road. That's why, AKA, the 5-year plan is very important when you're getting married. Right, so it's not that you spent too much on the wedding. I don't think you'd spend enough. Let's spend 100. So we got to have it, right? Now, let's have the right plan in place to be sound financially, so you don't regret it. Does that make sense?
100%.
What's the average money someone spends on a wedding?
$32,000 in Houston for 100 and 150 people.
Yeah.
Okay. For 100 and 150 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, guys, mic drop. I'm out of here. I'm kidding, but what we just shared, we don't have to go anymore. Now, what we have to do for those who want that to go in more depth on the how, the why, what, like, how do you do this? Like, how do you have, like, that's why, we did a morning surf session this morning on our boat on Lake Conroe. And it wasn't your normal one. I mean, we read Proverbs, we were bumping worship music, we were going hard on the pain prayer and praying, just having fun. About 8 or 9 dudes, like good dudes. And we were just.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
What?
You didn't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. It ended up that way. I think I was gonna go.
Okay.
Gosh, you made me lose my.
Sorry,
train of thought.
I can't do that with you. You were on the boat today, your morning sesh. Praising, worshiping.
But where you can take everyone, because it's full circle with finances.
Yeah.
You're kind of honing it in. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I moved pretty quick, and if I come back, I'll circle back on that. But we want to go into depth to show people on how to do this and how to make the right decisions. And that's where I was going.
And the why.
I have a lot of the knowledge, and I was praying and talking to a buddy of mine on the boat this morning. That I need to share, because I've been through a lot of my life's journey. Like, if I told you the whole story of everything that we have been through as a family and what we've overcome and how I've just pushed and never gave up. And I can now lead people that don't know what I know. God's given me experiences. God's given me insight and wisdom. And it's now time for me to teach and go into depth. This is a tease, like here's what's possible. We could talk for a day, 24 hours, nonstop, pure, clean, clear, focus, like wisdom to pour into you. But for those who are ready and want to, we are going to build, in my opinion, humbly, God willing, one of the best programs in the world. okay?
It's a roadmap.
Let me tell you the world. Now, it used to, a year ago, it'd be in the US, okay? But now, as the world moves into a worldwide digital currency, AKA decentralized finance, and you'll learn a little bit of that in the course, all we have to do is translate this into different languages because the financial game will be universal. 5, 10 years down the road, universal. All this fiat currency, all the US dollar and all this pesos and bolivars, my wife is from South America, from Bolivia, will be decentralized finance. El Salvador just adopted Bitcoin as their legal tender. Just the beginning, you'll see centralized financial systems of whole countries collapse, and it'll move into a decentralized financial. So it allows us to take this message. Why? Does people get married in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do people get married in Bolivia?
Yes.
Do people get married in Chile?
Yeah.
Do you think they have the same problems of sex, communication, and money, and doesn't matter the country?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know what more y'all want to cover,
Yeah.
but we want to follow up with giving you guys resources to learn how to do this the right way. I'm honored that they feel enough and see enough value in what we have been able to do, and our paths have crossed because these two ladies are going to change the game. I truly believe that, with a lot of purpose and impact. One of the missions that we believe in our company, and I'll leave it at this: impact over income. You know, once you get to a certain level, the money isn't the motivator, okay? What's the motivator is that one person who's watching this right now that we could change their life. That's worth more than $1 million, okay? And I believe you are going to make a big impact, and I'm thankful that y'all allowed me to take the journey with you.
Now you drop the mic.
Now you drop the mic.
Oh,
Thanks. Oh my God.
Boom.
Oh my God.
Next
Okay,
meeting.
so let me just say something because I know this
Yes.
one's going to run a mile a minute.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I am in between this, right? I'm listening. I've listened. We met about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I've listened to you share all the time. The passion that you have is incredible. We have passion because, like you said, sex, communication, and finances. The 3 number 1 things in a relationship that just the doom and gloom and drag everything down. Everything that you just said was like mind-blowing, amazing. But here's the thing: I feel like someone out there can listen to all this and go, "Oh my God!" Like that was like in a whirlwind, and it was awesome. And then I'm like, "What do I do now?" So that's where the educational side comes in, and the merge together. We're no different. We've been there, felt the same way about finances, about like what to do, the next steps. Even the fact that you brought up like what's the return on your, all the things, you know, someone can be sitting there listening going, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do. And the same things that we always say, like it has to be just begin, and you have to make those steps moving forward. So I just wanted to say really quick, so someone's like, oh my Jesus, that was like amazing. Amazing. More of it's to come.
Yes.
We have the course that we're putting together.
Yes.
We're, like Giovanna said, we're going to do the bridal extravaganza. This is such a fundamental piece to marriages
Sure.
and money. Your foundation. This piece alone, everything that you just shared, if there was one thing, just anybody out there listening, if there's one thing you did not understand, it goes along with the rest of the pieces. It's a puzzle. So my encouragement, continue to follow us, continue to watch the rest of the segments, because we're going to keep guiding everyone in the right direction. And ultimately, come to the bridal extravaganza, sign up as soon as we have all the things that people can sign up and be the first people, the way there'll be things to drink and all kinds of fun. But get on the game plan to be a part of this program.
Hey, and I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
We're
we're all gonna be there.
We're gonna crush. They're gonna have a lot of fun there.
This-
Show up.
This answers every single foundational thing that someone would ever want to know. And yes, when you ask in the very beginning of the program, what out of those 3 things is really like what's most important? Sex, communication, and finances. First of all, I think they're all important. Numero uno, we find, is really the communication piece, because communication really is like, can you communicate about the sex? Can you communicate about the finances? You have to be able to communicate. And we have learned people don't communicate. For some reason, we're taught that finances is supposed to be embarrassing. Sex is supposed to be embarrassing. Why are we not talking about this? But if people don't, but the number one, we always say when we do things, invite the other person, or your spouse, or your person you're getting married to, invite them to come with you to the bridal extravaganza, so you don't have to be the mouthpiece.
Yes.
Because if we were a couple And I was one like, let's talk about finances. She's like, I don't want to talk about finances. Fight, argument. But when someone else comes in and says, hey, have you guys considered these things? And it's like, okay, I'm not the only one thinking this. Now she's hearing it from someone else. And all of a sudden her light bulb goes off because she's like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. What? I've been trying to tell you this, but it just sounds different coming from somebody else. But again, this is like the diving board, the catapult into the deep end of amazement. Marriage is supposed to be amazing, fun, glorious growth. I mean, like just prosperity all around. It's financial, sex, communication, all parts of your life. I think, oh my God, it was just amazing. But I just wanted to say, because I think that a lot of people, like I'm just sitting, listening, I'm like, I've heard this and my head is still spinning, but the practicality of it is amazing.
Yeah,
Love it.
if you didn't get anything from this and you're watching on the replay, at the end of the day, couples, engaged couples spend more time talking about one day of their life than they do for even the first year.
Yeah.
We are here to give you the 5-year roadmap. Like it is what it is. And communication does come first. That it is. And from there, you'll learn about money and it's not going to be hard to talk about. You'll talk about sex and what you want, but this is really the foundation. We merged our companies. We have a partnership. This is investing in your relationship before walking down the aisle. There is no other way. This doesn't get any easier. So you're watching now.
It's harder, actually, guys.
It does.
You can't leave it. You can't quit the date when you're dating.
So,
yeah, and you know what? This really is for, it does not matter. It does not matter if you have an hourly rate right now. Let's say you're just barely making it by, or you have 500,000. These principles are for everyone. And we really believe you can have your marriage money, you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
You literally have a wedding. You don't have to be thinking, I can't do this, I can't do this. How do I make this work?
We are going to teach
Hey,
you
and
that.
I'm going to drop simple. We're going to keep it very simple and practical. But the guy that we deal with, guys that are hundreds of millionaires, right, multi-millionaires, and people that are just trying to figure things out, and we are passionate about both. But the ones that have a lot of money, I'm going to show you the importance and the early adopters of understanding decentralized finance, understand what Bitcoin and blockchain and different things are, and show you how we're seeing money compound at rates that we've never seen before. Okay, everything that we've been taught about investing in wealth and retirement and you know how to create wealth and what to invest in has changed a lot because we've never seen what's happening now. And let me mark these words. What is the date today? The 17th, 16th?
The 16th.
Okay, June
16th.
June 16th. Okay, June 16th. Moving forward. This will be the biggest boom ever in the world. It'll create more bigger millionaires faster than any other time in the world. This is my opinion. Remember, it's educational purpose. It's backed by a lot of data, research, and facts, in my opinion. And you'll see the people who are the biggest winners, everybody will win because it's just better and more efficient and honest and pure, and it removes a lot of the corruption that's in every country, including America, in every industry in America. But the ones who get it early will be the biggest winners. You will learn that briefly in this, or the basics of what you need without hitting you with statistics when I got to put you through algebra first. But you'll get that benefit of coming through this deeper education. And we're working tirelessly to launch this on, what is that, July 31st? So follow, y'all.
Subscribe, follow, and do not forget to ask your questions in the replay. If you're watching us live, thank you. And then, of course, anywhere at justengageuniversity.com, we have IGTV series, Facebook, and then our YouTube channel. Thank you to the partners at Lozingo. Thank you, Jaden. And
Thank you.
this is only part 3. We have 3 more series to come, and we have 2 series before. So make sure you go back and listen, and we will see you next week.
Lastly, if my team would be, I've been trying to put in plug. If you need help getting a mortgage loan or having financial advice, don't wait till July 31st. Reach out to us with Zango.com. We are here to serve and help you make smart financial decisions. So we're here, just know that, and thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And their information is on our website too. So if you can't find them through Zango, just go to justengageuniversity.com. Everything's there. Thank you.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. You got it.
That's more like a pen drop.